Ma'am, we've had multiple noise complaints from this
That's
address.
not possible. My home has been quiet. Which neighbor complained?
That information is none of your business. Ma'am, don't argue with me. We need to come inside.
Do you have a warrant?
Step back right now. You're being uncooperative.
You do not have permission to enter my home. I am
You
a
are
judge.
violating the law.
She offered to provide her contact information so they could follow up through proper channels if needed. This was when Sergeant Kane made his first major mistake. He placed his foot in her doorway, preventing her from closing the door. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. Rebecca immediately told him to remove his foot and step back from her property. Instead of complying, Kane pushed the door open, breaking the chain latch. Officer Rodriguez followed him inside without hesitation. What these officers didn't know was that Judge Rebecca Lawson had recently installed a comprehensive security system throughout her home. Multiple cameras with audio recording capabilities covered every room and entrance. Every second of what happened next was being captured in high definition with crystal clear sound quality. Kane demanded that Rebecca produce identification immediately. When she asked why identification was necessary for a noise complaint at her own home, he said she was acting suspicious and they needed to verify she belonged there. The implications of this statement would become clear later, but Rebecca understood immediately what was happening. She calmly walked to her purse and retrieved her driver's license, which clearly showed her name and the address where they were standing. Kane studied the license for an unusually long time before handing it back. He then asked her what she did for work. Rebecca found this question completely inappropriate and irrelevant to any noise complaint, but she answered honestly. She said she was a judge. The reaction from both officers was immediate and unmistakable. Kane's eyes widened, and Rodriguez took a step backward. Kane asked her to repeat what she had said. Rebecca clearly stated that she was a circuit court judge and had been for 15 years. She asked again why they were really in her home and demanded to see the complaint report. This is when the situation took a dramatic turn. Instead of apologizing and leaving, Sergeant Kane doubled down. He said he didn't believe she was a judge and demanded additional proof. He said anyone could claim to be anything and that her behavior was still suspicious. Officer Rodriguez began walking through Rebecca's living room, examining her belongings without permission. Rebecca had reached her limit. She firmly told both officers that they were trespassing and needed to leave immediately. She said she would be filing a formal complaint with their department and that their behavior was completely unacceptable. Kane responded by telling her she was being belligerent and that he could arrest her for interfering with the police investigation. What happened next would become the centerpiece of multiple federal lawsuits. Rebecca walked to her home office and returned with her judicial identification badge and her business cards. She handed them to Kane, who examined them closely. The badge was official, issued by the state court administration. Her business cards clearly identified her as the Honorable Rebecca Lawson, Circuit Court Judge. Kane looked at the identification for nearly a full minute. Rodriguez peered over his shoulder. Rebecca could see recognition dawning on their faces, but instead of apologizing and leaving, they made another catastrophic decision. Kane claimed the identification could be fake and said they would need to verify her identity through official channels. Rebecca told them they could verify her identity by calling the courthouse, the sheriff's department, or even the mayor's office. Any of these agencies would confirm her position immediately. Instead, Kane said they would need to take her to the station for proper identification verification. At this point, Rebecca knew she was dealing with officers who were either criminally corrupt or dangerously incompetent. She told them clearly that she was not going anywhere and that they were violating multiple laws by remaining in her home. She said she was calling her attorney and the chief of police immediately. Kane responded by telling her she was under arrest for obstruction of justice.